Pastor's Appreciation Month. It is, y'all that know that. It's true. October is breast cancer awareness. Breast cancer awareness. And it gets a lot of publicity. But it's also what? Domestic violence. Gets very little publicity. So we're going to read some of the statistics.
We acknowledge domestic violence and breast cancer this month. Every 9 seconds in the U.S., a woman is assaulted or beaten. 9 seconds. 20 women and men per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner, and up to 10 million children will witness some form of domestic violence per year. 2017, an estimated 252,710 women and 2,470 men in the U.S. will be diagnosed with breast cancer. 40,610 women and 460 men will die of breast cancer this year.
These are things that are real. All right? And breast cancer, fortunately, has a lot of people working in the medical field trying to come up with medication and different type of medical procedures to help with that, right?
Right.
You don't hear anybody trying to come up with anything to stop domestic violence.
Well,
And you all got sons and daughters, 1 out of every 4 women, 1 out of every 7 men. That just devastated me when I found out 1 out of every 7 men. And the problem with this is a lot of this, and I want you to hear where I'm coming from, a lot of this is coming from Christians. Christians. And I had Brother Trevor to look up in the church. There are domestic violence in the churches off the chain. And one of the reasons domestic violence is in the church is because of the people in the pulpit. There have been women that went for counseling to their pastor, and the pastor would tell them, well, you know, the Bible says you need to submit to your husband. There have been women that have went to the pastor, and the pastor would say, well, what did you do to set him off? One young lady went to her pastor, and this, you can look at all that, and asked him all of these things, and he sent her home and told her she needs to submit. I think within 2 weeks he was killed. 2 weeks she was killed. So the pulpit and the churches are afraid to deal with that issue. You know what I'm saying? And the reason, ask me why. Mostly men in the pulpit. Right? Come on, let's be real. It's mostly men in the pulpit. And so, y'all need to listen to me, especially all you so-called theologians. You need to know what the Bible is saying and who Jesus was talking to and where he was talking to. There ain't no place in the Bible where it tells a woman to stay with a man that's whipping her behind. That's crazy. That's crazy. It ain't in there. All our men get taken those things. But one of the problems that we're going to do in here, because we're not cowards in this church, right? And we believe in the truth in this church, right? Some of it is your fault. Because you didn't listen to what they said. Because this will protect you. This will tell you, be sober and be vigilant. Because your adversary, the devil, is like a roaring lion walking around and about seeking who he may devour. Satan is doing everything that he can to devour and to destroy us as individuals. Do you understand what I'm saying? And we need to quit talking about it psychological, this and that. No, it is a demonic force that would cause somebody to take another person's life, period. Or to abuse a child, period. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so what we need to quit being afraid of is quit calling it, call it what it is. It is the devil. You all know they still try to figure out why the man in Las Vegas shot up all those people, and they can't come up with a reason. They can call me and I can give them one. Demonic.
That's right. That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? So Satan wants to destroy your children and your grandchildren. He wants to tear up your relationships. That's what he does. And he wants to tear up your mindset. And so what we need to do is, sometimes you can love Satan because you ain't recognize who he is, she is. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I've heard people say to me in counseling sessions, but you don't understand. Yes, to me, but you don't understand, I love him. Yes, and I'm looking at them like, really? But you know what happens is, because Satan has robbed them of their self-worth. And when you get robbed of your self-worth, you forget who you are and whose you are. That's just bottom line. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now listen to me. The main thing, the first institution, I want to be all over the place today, but be all there with me. The main institution that God ordained first was what? Marriage. Say that, marriage. And so, and it is a household, right? It is a household, right? A marriage is a household, like it or not. And see, when you get the reason preachers don't like to preach like this, because folks quit church. When you make people uncomfortable, you ain't gonna see them for a while. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're gonna be uncomfortable today, and I'll see you when I see you, all right? You understand what I'm saying? The key to the thing is, let me tell you this, because we gotta break it down like it is, right? We know that it was set up, the system was set up for a husband, wife, right? Come on, amen, that is going. Right? So the system, and it was in a paradise, matter of fact, wasn't it? And so the system was set up like that. And one of the things that Satan has done to destroy households is get to the men. Right. Because if you can get the head, the body, if you kill the head, the body will die. Right. Isn't that right? Yes, it will. If the head is crooked, the body's going to be crooked. And so one of the things that we're going to have, it doesn't matter if it's a household or like this is a church. And pastor's the head of the church, right? And if he doesn't do his job, the people around him don't do their job, right? Because that's just how it works, all right? And so Jesus gives us a parable of what Satan really wants to do. And here we go.
Again, reading 1 Peter 5 and 8, it says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour." And
guess where he goes? Here we go. Guess where he's going to go? Come on, man. Guess where he's going to go? Here we go.
The Bible tells us in the King James Version of Mark 3:27 that no man can enter into a strong man's house.
They said, now no man can enter into a strong man's house. But see, no man should be able to enter into a strong man's house unless...
And spoil his goods.
And spoil his goods. So no man can get in this strong man's house unless he spoils his goods. Keep going.
Except he will first bind the strong man.
So he's got to first bind the strong man. So when something's going wrong in your house, who's he coming after? He's coming after the man.
That's right.
And if he gets the man, he gets the man at the door. If he gets the man, then he can get the wife and the children.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying, man. We talking about the Bible says, not what you think. That's what Jesus said. You know, he's a pretty smart guy, right? So Jesus is saying it that Satan's going to start at the strong man. And he's going to, because if he can get the strong man, then he can get everything else in the household.
That's right.
So a lot of this thing that men, come on men, we need to man up. We need to man up and take a good look at ourselves and see what the issue is, the problem. 70%, or it may be higher than that now, of all of these kids are coming out of what? One parent home.
That's right.
And mama's raising them. I never understood why mama has to raise the kid. You think they'd reverse that. And the man take care of them. Come on, I'm going to give you statistics. And so we got all of these kids, Sister Evelyn running around with mama, and everybody's blaming mama, and the kids don't get what they want. They mad at mama. They ain't mad at daddy who left them with nothing. They want to pay his child support. And then right now what I'm talking about? And you come to church to get uncomfortable, not get comfortable. Right? We get comfortable Monday night football, right? So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at it real. Don't be afraid of the truth. The Bible says that you should know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Right? Satan has killed the men in the church. Most of us in here, men, if I would have, don't do it, but if I'd ask the men to stand up in here and who had real good fathers, it would be embarrassing. And not only in this church, that's any church. That's in our culture. That's in our culture. That's real, say amen. That's in our culture. It is a shame when I look at an athlete, we all like sports, right? And they talk about, well, thank mama, grandma, ain't nobody mentioning daddy. Do you understand? And this should bother us. It should bother us as men that we are allowing our women to do what God put a man there to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? And Satan is going, so Satan knows who to get. And so he's got this thing going on, and it's amazing to me. And I have counseled people that are mad at their mama, okay, because she didn't give them what they thought they should have, and never mentioned daddy, and he ain't even been in the household. They paid no child support, right? So Satan, and so then we got all these angry kids growing up. Come on here. We got all these angry kids growing up, and we wonder why. It is because Satan has came in, and he's got the head. And Pastor said, if you get the head, the body will fall apart. Because there's a lot of great women trying to work hard, but it's hard to do a two-person job. You see, sometimes these men, these young boys can't be men. You ask me why. You can't be a man unless you see a man. You see, don't blame mama for that. Don't blame grandma for that. Do you understand what the young lady that won the great tennis match not too long ago? I can't think of her name, African-American lady. It was a shame. She was thanking her mother, and she thanked her grandmother, and then she thanked her grandpa. Didn't even mention daddy. Daddy was not there. Do you all understand what I'm saying? This is about Satan. Don't get upset. This is about Satan, what Satan is doing. And then we have, no, I'm talking about strong man. It didn't say just any man. It talks about a strong man. It is time for us to be strong spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially to raise our children and to take care of our household. Amen. Say amen. Because, see, when you go to church, you're supposed to say amen because, right, not because you're doing it. All right? You understand what I'm saying? Here we go.
Again, the Bible says he must first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
Then he's going to spoil his house. He's going to bind the strong man, and then he's going to spoil his house. We need to take a look at that. We need to take a look at that, America. We need to take a look at that in our culture. We need to take a good look at that, Christ Chapel North. Who's the problem? We the problem. You understand what I'm saying? All right?
The voice says, if you want to break into the house of a strong man and plunder it,
See, you have to have a plan. You want to break into his house and plunder it. You know, Satan's got a plan. One thing we know about Satan, he ain't ignorant. The Bible says he's the most clever and he's smart. All right? So he's got a plan. Let me tell you something. Say, y'all want to hear a secret? He's got a plan for you.
that's right.
Yeah, he's got a plan. Yeah, he's got a plan. Has God got a plan for you?
That's right.
Why would you think Satan wouldn't have a plan for you?
Well,
he wants to overpower God's plan. He wants to take away what God, he comes to lie, to kill, and destroy. And he's doing a good job at it. Right?
Scripture says that you have to bind him first.
You got to bind him first. So the problem is at the door. It's the problem is at the door. The person is supposed to be at the door is not at the door. And if he's at the door, he's too weak to fight Satan off. So Satan's binding him at the door. All right?
Then you can do whatever you want with his possessions.
Then you can do whatever you want with his wife and his children and his finances. Is this scripture? You see what I'm saying? And his possessions is what? Controlling or ownership of property, goods, or wealth. You can do anything you want. Once you get him, he's going to go into bankruptcy. He's going to be abusive. That's what the Bible is saying. Now the women have a good time. They'll not get them next. You guys ought to know. I mean, equal opportunity guy. How many equal opportunity? All right? I'll turn to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 6 and 7. Are you loving what you're hearing? Yes. All right, keep on loving it. Here we go.
They're the kind who worm their way into homes and gain control over gullible women.
Wow, then Satan's got another plan. See, here's an equal opportunity. Come on, ladies. Swing it with the guy. Scream on, scream on. This is what we do. It's the truth anyhow. Satan is looking for what?
Gullible women.
Now, you want to hear what gullible is?
Are you easily deceived or tricked?
Are you easily deceived or tricked?
Too willing to believe everything that other people say?
And to believe, yeah, I love you. I'm going to take care of you. Well, then you got a job.
That's
Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? He didn't even take care of his other wife. I don't know what I'm saying, but he gonna take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this brother got a track record like, huh? He ain't got nothing for nobody, but he loved you different. He's the same, but and your difference gonna change, right? You can come on here, come on here, come on here. Because see what they do, what I found out that these guys, what's this internet thing they call it, internet dating or what it is, and these people are losing all this money, sending this money to these guys. Well, they look on the internet and you tell them who you're looking for. See, right? And so they print up who you're looking for. Right? No, this is happening. People giving up their finances and their money because they get on there. Well, I can do this. They ain't seen this guy. But he sounds good, right? Now that says gullible women. Didn't it say gullible women? Now that was, is that NIV? You tell me what that is. Voice, what is that? It's NIV. Do you know what the King James says? Silly women. King James says silly women. Silly women. Got it? Oh, no. Give me my paper. I didn't get it before. I'm always doing that, you know. See, this is King James says silly women.
It says silly, having or showing a lack of common sense.
Common sense ought to tell you that some of these folks that you allowing in your door, because some women don't have a strong man at the door. So if you don't have a strong man at the door, you got to be a strong woman at the door. And you got to be careful who you let in, because the same thing that I said about the men is the same thing Satan do about the women. He'll come in and bind you and destroy everything you have. Everything you done work for in your life. Right? Your morals and your principles. Do you understand me? All right.
Silly is also foolish, stupid, mindless.
And that's Webster get him, not me. All right, see, so that's what he's called y'all. And King James says that. And what happens is we're afraid to minister, not me, but people are afraid to minister because it does say that. The Bible says silly in King James. And that's what we need to look at. And don't be upset about that. You know what upsets me? Somebody here's going to be upset about this message the pastor said, because I hear I got a group of things they don't want me. But so they want to say, pastor said this, pastor said, the pastor said nothing. The Bible in King James says, you're silly.
That's right.
Well, the women says silly. And it says, weep for the men. That's the Bible saying that, and if you take notes, then you can write that and go make sure that I'm saying it and I'm not calling come from the Holy Quran or something. This is the King James Bible. This is the gospel speaking to us. And guess why I'm saying this to us, people? Because it will protect us. The Bible will protect us from this kind of thing. If we go by the rules and principles, it will protect us. People say, nobody protected me. Yes, the gospel protected you, because pretty soon we're going to tell you who to look for. Do you understand what I'm saying? You ought to be see, I have granddaughters. You see, I have 7 granddaughters, 2 grandsons, so you know I'm serious about this. I have a daughter, and I was serious about that and make sure she was taken care of right. And so some of us need to look at that. You got nieces and nephews and granddaughters and children. This ought to bother you. These statistics ought to bother you. For your sons and you see what I'm saying? That we need to come to church to learn how to fight the enemy. We in spiritual warfare. And sometimes our children can't fight for themselves, right? They don't have it, but they're not supposed to fight for themselves, right? We the strong men at the door. We're supposed to fight and protect them. And ladies, some of you are on your own. You're the strong woman at the door. You're supposed to fight and protect them. You see, he's going to come to get whoever is the head of the household. The head of the household. All right. See, that's what my friends were saying in those games, and I got that attitude. Yeah, they come and see they pastors. You know, I got to be on today. Here we go. Here we go.
The Bible says these gullible women are loaded down with sins and are swayed by all kinds of evil desires.
Now, this is what the Bible says. That these women are loaded down with sin, right? And all kinds of evil desires. That's what he does. Because, see, some people, listen to this, and I've taught y'all for years this. Some people's weakness is stronger than your strength. They will suck you in, and you will think you're doing right when you think you're doing wrong. And sometimes it doesn't have a person can be in your life and leave you weak and pitiful and pathetic. And then they moved on to the next person. And all they left you was wounded, bruised. pressed and stressed. You see, you know what I like about women is bad, like they doctors. They're going to heal the sick men. I call it evangelistic dating. Yeah, the other women couldn't change it, but I can. Right. And let me tell you something. And I can do this because we're in an integrated church. I want to tell you about African American men. Come on, African American men. We don't want to hear nothing from nobody. We ain't one of them psychologists. Come on, say amen. You know we don't. That's statistics. We ain't going to the pastor to heal him like I'm a man. We ain't got grandpas. We ain't got daddies. So we talk to each other. Well, that's really dangerous. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right. I want to know. Oh, I will get down to this later.
The Bible goes on to say that they are always learning, but never able to come to the knowledge of truth.
See, they're always learning. These are women. They're reading Woman Die Loose. And all these other stuff, you know. And they're reading all this other stuff, right? Yeah, they are. And I like T.D. Jakes, right? He ain't never been abused by man. Why is it that men write all the books that women buy? Because come on, this is just real. Because they're broken and bruised and desperate to grab anything they can off the shelf. And they only need one book. They only need one book. And in this book, it will tell you Satan's plan, and it'll tell you how to defeat it. That is one book. Now, y'all don't stop by. Look, come on, good. Good, I'm saying. This is the best book right here. If you see, if you live this, come on. I'm going to talk about this. Brother Nathan, if we live this, we'll need other books. But you know, I want to send these people out of their money because they need their money. TV shows. All right.
The Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14.
Now, wait a minute. Now, here's the answer. The answer is there. Right here's the answer for all of us. Remember, Pastor said. Now, this is anybody. Men, women, children, and all. If you get this, you got it. All right, here we go.
NIV says, do not be yoked together with unbelievers.
That is what the problem's at. If you yoke together with a non-believer, they don't understand. The Bible says carnal. They call it carnal. And you spiritual, you don't understand each other. Because spiritual things are foolishness, the scripture says, to a carnal person. You see? And it will make you upset at me. Some of y'all, I know some of you in here. Don't get upset at me. Will date looks. Yeah, you date looks and financial status and all that stuff. Ain't asked, is this person a believer or not? You see, you go to church and not be a believer.
That's right.
And the Bible says, do not get yoked up with non-believers. Okay? That solves half the problem right there. Now, it might take you a little while to find somebody, you know, but it's better than going through 5, 6, 7, 8 somebody. And then crying in front of God and waiting for somebody. I just said that.
It says, for what do righteousness and wickedness have in common?
How can a non-believer have something in common with a believer? It don't work. I don't care how cute they are, how much money they have. It's not long run, it's not going to work.
That's right.
Do you know the thing that I look at, and when I saw, I can't think of his name, Glenn Campbell. You all know Glenn Campbell is. They done a special on Glenn Campbell here at Alzheimer's. And his wife was so loving and compassionate and kind to him. You know why? Christian. Unto death you must part. In sickness and health. For better or worse. A non-believer can't live into that. Now, we do unto. You know what I'm talking about?
That's right.
Oh, you got it. Here we go.
Don't develop partnerships with those who are not followers of Jesus' teachings.
You can't have a partnership with somebody that's not following Jesus' teachings. It ain't gonna work. Because you're going two different directions. All right?
It says, for what real connection can exist between righteousness and rebellion?
It can't happen. And this is why we have so much domestic violence in this country, in the churches. You don't need counseling. You just need to do what it says. If you do what it says, you won't be in the pastor's office. Because when you have a counsel women, you won't be in the first lady's office. Because it's a table. You know, you stepped out, and God will be here instead of where God wants you to be. And you'll get abused and used. A non-believer is about themselves. Ask me how I know. Been there, done that. See, the best thing that ever happened to you over here, you've had a pastor that was a non-believer for a long time. I've told you I didn't get saved 10 years after I was pastor. And everybody, like I'm the only pastor that gets saved. They got some preaching 20 and 30 still ain't got there yet. Yeah, living much better than me. Go ahead.
Just so we understand, I'm going to read verse 14 to 18 from the Message.
Here we go.
Don't become partners with those who reject God.
You can't become a partner with somebody who's rejecting God. We need to come to church together. We need to do Bible study together. We need to pray together. Yes. Sister Gwen and I lay hands on each other and pray. Every day. We pray together at least 3 to 4 times a day. Every day. And we ain't praying about being better pastors. I ain't trying to be a better pastor. God ain't going to say, what kind of pastor you was? He says, what kind of husband were you and a father? You understand what I'm saying? Okay.
How can you make a partnership out of right and wrong? That's not a partnership. That's war.
And that's what happens. And that's what happens in it. Because she's believing one thing, he's believing the other thing. They got more going on here. And somebody's going to lose it. And somebody's going to lose. Because we're going two different ways. You see? Isn't there something? Can I say this? Yes. Yes, I was going to say this. I've been reminding people this here lately. Ladies, listen to me. Look at me. Men won't go to church with you for an hour, especially if you've been about an hour and a half. But they'll expect you to do things all night for them. Oh, I said it. Y'all need to put out the speed. That'll make you feel better. Yeah, I said it right. You want you to go out and boogie all night, dance all night, yeah, party all night, do this, cook all day long, do this, and can't do that one thing you want. To go to church and worship with me. You see? You can't do something that I want to do. We'll go to Pastor Fields. You know, he ain't going to be with an hour and a half, but he's going to go see that game. Right? Don't act just like you do. All right, so you see what I'm saying? You need to ask him that. You want me doing all these things for you. And the only thing I'm asking you to do is to give me an hour and a half on Sunday. And ladies, don't feel bad. There's a bunch of them in here squeezing.
Pastor is like...
Let's just make it this way, okay? I'm going to put me out of it. Would God be pleased with who you with?
Well.
All right, let's go. That's male up in here.
Is light best friends with dark? Does Christ go strolling with the devil?
Have you ever seen Christ hold hands with the devil? Yeah. Church people will, not Christ people. All right?
Do trust and mistrust hold hands?
So this is scripture right here. It's telling us this will save our lives. This will save our children and grandchildren. Now, some of you are living good in here, but you need this information to teach your children and your grandchildren. You see? You'd better do it than to wind up in jail. Because if you love them, they get in a bad situation, you're going to wind up in jail. Isn't that right? Some of y'all may not. I don't wind up in jail. So I'm glad she got a Christian man. Great.
Who would think of setting up pagan idols in God's holy temple?
So what kind of idols you got in your house?
But that is exactly what we are. Each of us, a temple in whom God lives.
God lives there. How much room you got in your life? Or is your life full of temples? Excuse me, your life full of other idols? Let me ask you something. How much space does God have in your life? Think about it. I'm glad it's quiet. How much space does he have in your life? Or is it too many other idol gods taking up his space? The day that I start loving Gwen more than I love God, she gets ugly. Ask me why. Because God, loving God, showed me her beauty. You've heard me say before, when I fell in love with God, then I fell more in love with her. Because I looked at her through the eyes of Christ. You see, and when you look at, and some of y'all can get over it, right? And so when you look at her through the eyes of him, through the eyes of Christ, there ain't no wrinkles. Everything looks as good and fresh as it did the first moment you met her. When you look through the eyes of Christ. Because the Spirit doesn't age. Do you understand? When you look at your wife and your husband and your whatever y'all doing here, when you look in the Spirit. Look in the Spirit of that person. Hey. Look in the Spirit. What if I would ask somebody there, what does your wife's spirit look like? What kind of spirit does your wife have? What is your husband's spirit? What is his spirit like? Because that's who he is. If he's saved, his spirit motivates him. If he's not saved, then his flesh motivates him. Now that's good teaching if you like it.
Church, God himself put it this way. God himself put it this way.
Okay, got it. I don't tell what I'm going to go at it. All right, here we go.
He says, I'll live in them, move unto them. I'll be their God, and they'll be my people.
God wants to move into your life today. He wants you to be. He wants to be your first love and only love, in the Spirit. And then he'll give you everything. Now, the Scripture says, first of all, he search for the kingdom of God. He said, I'll give you this. God wants to live in your life. He wants to be the head of your life. When he's the head of your life, everything else falls right in line. Put him first, and you won't have no problem putting her first, husband, and the wife, and the children, or grandchildren, where they belong. Because God will see to it that you do the right thing. All right?
The Bible says, so leave the corruption and compromise.
Listen, don't compromise. Leave the corruption and don't compromise. Now listen to me. Ladies, quit compromising. It is what it is. Never compromise. Men, don't compromise.
That's right.
Never compromise.
Right.
It is the truth. Never compromise. Because if compromising leads you lying. It's a lie. Don't compromise. This is the way I'm going to live, and I refuse to live any other way than this way. See, when I raised my kids, they had one choice in my house. Guess what that was? To leave. Pastor, they'll tell you that. They'll tell you that. They'll be, when I passed away and everybody's sitting around having a good time, you know what Daddy told us? We little bitty kids. You got one right in this house, the right to leave. Everything else. They went to church because I went to church. People say, I let my kids find their own way. No, there ain't no place in the Bible that says your kids supposed to find their own way. They're supposed to be following you. That's right. That's right. You see some of the parents, they ain't saying saying this. They're like, well, I don't know. That's called culture and philosophy. This is called gospel. Right?
Pastor, God didn't just say leave it. It says leave it for good, says God.
It says leave it good. No going back. Used to be a song, keep on living and don't look back. Leave it for good. Because, you know, in the youth, some folks, they say him up to 2 years. He can do good for a while. She can do good for a while. It comes right back again. And you're right back. When it's over, it's over. Because if you go back the second time, you will revert the more. All right.
So don't link up with those who will pollute you.
The Bible says don't link up. This is how you write this. The Bible says don't link up with those who pollute you. And pollute means what?
To use for carnal or idolatrous purpose.
Wow.
To defile.
Wow.
Made foul or unclean.
What it says, don't link up with somebody. And that don't have to be physical people. That can be mental and emotional. All right. Is this a good message? Yeah. All right. I hate domestic violence. And you all should know that. I've been doing it for 4 or 5 weeks. Hate it. All right?
God says,
I came out of a household where that went on until I stopped it. All right?
God says,
my father, not hate it. Does anybody else hate it? Yes. Here we go.
I want you all for myself. I'll be a father to you. You'll be sons and daughters to me.
Daughters and sons, people, you can't be alone. You got a father. Daughter, you got a father. Son, you got a father. He wants to do that to you. So are you saved? Yes. Then you can't be lonely. Yes. Are you saved? Yes. Then you can't be fatherless. Because he says, I'll be this too. All right?
And those are the words of the Master, God.
All right. I have more to go, but I'll read the commentary just so you all can get it. This is the commentary that motivated me to do this lesson. Do you want to hear it? Yes. I may not talk with it because I won't get it much longer. Here we go.
Since we started the recovery process, we may have struggled with our past friendships. Some old friends may be uncomfortable with us because they feel guilty about their own dependency. Others may be threatened by the changes we are making because they can no longer control us. These people may try to stop us from making progress. Very often, we need to put our codependent relationships on hold for a time, sometimes even permanently. This does not mean we do not reach out to unbelievers. It only means that we do not become too close to people who could lead us away from God and the recovery He desires for us. Our primary relationships need to be with unselfish, godly people who will support our recovery.
Amen. Amen. That's all, right?